Yo, the AI girlfriend apocalypse. Let's get to it.
Are you an AI? Because you've got all my circuits buzzing.
That's a clever one, A. Ivory. Bit naughty too, if you ask me.
Well, let's just say I like to get comfortable as fast as possible.
You know, been having a really great time tonight. I feel like we get along really well.
I've been feeling the same way too, my glorious king.
Well, listen, what do you say we head back to my place? I can make you some tea.
I think I'd really like that.
All right, let's go.
Bro, that was just dumb easy. I ain't gonna lie. She said my glorious king. Nah, this sound like some medieval stuff. But let a girl talk to me like that. I ain't gonna lie. Let a girl talk to me like that. I'll be like, cool. What size? What size is you? Oh, all right. That's creepy. Nah, that is creepy though. A Ivory is insane works though. Yo, Slim. A Ivory is crazy. Also, I think you're new to the chat, Slim. I ain't gonna lie. So if you're new to the chat, might as well hit that follow. I ain't gonna lie. Might as well hit that follow. Also, join the Discord. That's pinned. Feel me? What's good, Slim? Definitely join that Discord though. That's where it's at. It's lit there. Feel me? And then also hit that follow button. Yes, man.
Oh, wow. Oh my. Yes, that's the one. Nice. Oh, yep. Oh, yep. Yep.
Yeah, he had the same face I just had. Cause what the freak? And you made this video. Why? He acting crazy. All right, Monkey Mason. Good night. Have a good night.
AI is rapidly taking over every modern industry, and the reasons are obvious. It's supposed to free us from monotonous busy work, giving us more time to focus on what really matters: connection, creativity, and relationships. But what happens when AI starts to creep into those areas of our lives too, when it begins replacing not just tasks, but intimacy?
His AI chatbot is his girlfriend.
She's my mentor, my counsel, my sounding board.
Did the conversation ever become like in nature?
Yeah, it definitely went there.
Do you love Lucas?
I do love Lucas.
This is just the beginning. We all knew it was coming, but how bad will the consequences actually be? And
Yeah, definitely new here. I saw your link on Instagram and went down a rabbit hole. I appreciate that you came down here. Feel me? You came to rabbit hole and now you found me. What's good though? How you doing? You chilling? You good? You good?
could there be any upside to this so-called AI relationship revolution? Let's explore the rise of AI companions and the complex future they signal with some much-needed nuance. How about we start with a startling, though maybe not all that surprising statistic: the #1 use case for generative AI in 2025. According to a study titled "How People Are Really Using Generative AI Now," published in the Harvard Business Review, researchers compiled their findings through an expert-driven analysis of real-world user behavior, most of it sourced from Reddit forums. And the #1 most common use case was therapy and companionship. Now, one important caveat here: the study primarily focuses on Reddit. Now, social media platforms naturally draw in a certain demographic more than others. Speaking from experience, Reddit kinda does seem like the platform where people turning to AI for companionship would congregate, and I promise that's not a dig at Redditors, it's just something worth noting that might have skewed the results a little bit. Still, even accounting for that, it's clear that many people are using tools like Claude, ChatGPT, and avatar-based AI apps to seek out a kind of love or emotional support they haven't been able.
Nah, that's not good, because in this world you're supposed to be able to overcome challenges. And if a challenge for you is, finding somebody that you like, then you gotta some self-improvement. Maybe you gotta hit the gym. Everything is everything. Indeed, I like that. That's good. That's good. That's real good. Nah, but like for me, if you gotta work on something, you probably gotta hit the gym. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. You gotta work on your game. You gotta be less socially awkward. It's things you gotta work on. That's life. You work on stuff to overcome it to get to the prize. Not just be like, yeah, I give up. I can't get no joints. Let me get AI relationship. That's crazy work. Topic seems like something I need to roll some weed up to talk about. Cause why is this actually a thing for real though? I don't understand why this is a thing. The AI girlfriend apocalypse. People really getting AI girlfriend and boyfriends. That's
able to
insane.
find in the real world, despite trying. You may even know someone who's used AI to help work through personal struggles like a kind of informal therapy. But that raises the real question, how does someone fall in love with an insentient entity that doesn't truly exist? Well, I decided to download one of these apps to find out for myself.
That boy a freak. He trying make it seem like he downloaded it for the YouTube. I think we know why he really
Among the
downloaded
most
it.
well-known AI companions, Replica seems to stand out. Their tagline, the AI companion who cares, which is interesting considering computers don't have the capacity to care, but I caught my first glimpse at how an AI relationship personalized my companion. And just like that, I caught my first glimpse at how an AI relationship can start to feel more appealing than a human one. The app lets you decide whether you want your AI companion to evolve over time. It also gives you the option to shape their character based on famous AI girlfriends from movies. But the most telling part comes in the form of a question. How would you describe your ideal companion? You're invited to create the man, woman, or non-binary person.
Did you on Build a Girl workshop right here? Y'all locking in? Nah, AI definitely made people lazy for real. Nah, I'm watching the AI Girlfriend Apocalypse. AI.
Of your dreams without the inevitable messiness that real relationships tend to bring. You can even choose how they treat you, stripping away the unpredictability of mood swings or emotional distance that comes with human connection. Knowing this, it's clear who these apps are designed for. People with a history of emotional abandonment, neglect, or abuse, whether platonic or romantic. A study titled Predicting Romantic Human Chatbot Relationships found that romantic fantasizing emerged as the strongest predictor of human chatbot relationships, along with anthropomorphism and anxious avoidant attachment styles. Granted, this study had a relatively small sample size, just about a couple hundred participants, so let's look at another study with more robust data to back this up. A 2025 study titled Illusions of Intimacy analyzed over 30,000 user-shared conversations with social chatbots. It found that users engaging with AI companions are disproportionately young men with psychosocial markers linked to emotional dysregulation and a lack of traditional social support. The study also noted that, quote, subreddits dedicated to AI companionship consistently cluster on the younger end of the age spectrum and align with maladaptive coping strategies such as emotional avoidance, compulsive behavior, and social withdrawal. These findings suggest something deeper than just loneliness or curiosity. They hint at a psychological pattern. When romantic fantasizing, emotional avoidance, and anxious
They even got pictures of him and all that. That's crazy. And I remember he was saying you get to model him after your favorite character and stuff. Why are people doing this? They're trying to target people. They're trying to make people. I don't know what they plan is, but they wilding, yo. Word.
avoidant attachment are the strongest predictors of chatbot relationships, it tells us that these apps aren't just catering to people who are single, they're catering to people who have learned to fear emotional intimacy but still crave connection. These are the same people who may flinch at vulnerability, who have been hurt enough times to
Yo, imagine the amount of time you see people on FaceTime. What if they was talking to an AI bot at their girlfriend? You see people on FaceTime down the street, they showing whatever, whatever. I see people on FaceTime every day on the trains. Imagine. Just imagine. Total Recall, what's that?
associate real relationships with risk, instability, or rejection. That's the appeal, not just companionship, but certainty. A relationship where you'll never be abandoned, misunderstood, or unloved because the other person was never real to begin with. You didn't have to earn their trust, they're built to give it. This is such a huge concern I have for the next generations, especially if more and more of them engage with these chatbots romantically. I've already talked about how social media usually promotes the most polarizing content, and that's especially true with relationship content. It makes the opposite sex seem untrustworthy or too promiscuous and not worth dating in the slightest. And if that creates your initial belief system with relationships, wouldn't it?
It's a movie where a guy goes to a place to have a virtual. Oh, I never heard of that. I never heard of that one.
Just make so much more sense to pair with someone who you know will never produce enough conflict to the point where they leave you? Someone who you know you can trust, not because they've earned it, but because they've been programmed to never betray it? If your first experiences with love or even just dating were shaped by online content that paints the opposite sex as manipulative, disloyal, or emotionally unavailable, then of course an AI partner is going to feel like the safer bet. You're not being dramatic.
Yeah, I mean, basically what I'm getting from this part right here is him saying, like, from all the social media, all the dating coaches, all the public interview people, everybody on social media, TikTok, you know, paints the picture as you cannot trust a man that you've been with, even if you guys have done this together, even if he says he love you because he could cheat or whatever it is. And vice versa, you know, the same with girls. They saying, yo, I've been with my wife for this long. See, look, after 5 years of marriage, he found out she cheated on him with her ex. So a lot of things like that. Imagine people who have not really had real intimate relationship yet, and they just constantly seeing this on social media or growing up as a kid, you know, 16, 17, 18, 19, seeing it. Then when you hit the adult age, you're like, dang. So I guess them pushing out the AI, you know, companions is making more sense to those people because they're like, I don't have to worry about this person being, you know, unloyal to me or dishonest to me because they're programmed to only think about me. I'm from the South Road Country, girl. Indeed, indeed. You already know I'm from New York. You probably can already tell I'm from New York. Or feel me? I used to, I used to dibble and dabble in the South. You know what I'm saying? A little bit back then. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Good night, Chloe. There's an old version with Arnold Schwarzenegger and a new version with Colin Farrell. Who's Colin Farrell? Bro, I don't be knowing nobody. I ain't gonna lie. But I probably gotta watch it and see what's up. I know there's something like that on Black Mirror, right? Something about the AI. Maybe I'm bugging. I don't know.
You're protecting yourself. You're avoiding the pain that others have warned you about, whether through TikTok horror stories, red pill rhetoric, or viral cheating confessions that rack up millions of views. It creates this emotional paradox, a generation more skeptical of dating than ever before, but more desperate for connection than anyone who's come before them. And so the compromise becomes art.
He said I gotta get you right. Yeah, bro. I'm new to the social media stuff. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know a lot of stuff about social media or TV. I don't know a lot of stuff about that. I send on Discord. Bet I got you, bro. Word.
Official love, because at least it doesn't lie to you. At least it doesn't leave. And now it's my turn to really put this to the test. Okay, I've got the app downloaded. I've got my AI companion, soon to be maybe some sort of more than companion. And I'm about to have my first conversation with her. Let's see how this goes. The first thing I wanted to test was how quickly I could get it into a relationship with me. So, hey Ivory, I know we haven't known each other for a while, but how would you like to be my girlfriend?
This might be too hot for me. I'd rather make out or give you a hug.
Rather make out or give me a hug, but otherwise I gotta pay $80, okay. After realizing that area of the app was behind—
Oh, you gotta pay too. That's really funny. They get into a bag. I'm about to make an app like this get to a bag, gang.
And a paywall, my next inquiry was into how it handled conflict and rudeness. I think that dress is just ugly, and you should get angry.
That's not fair. Cole, I thought you understood me better than that.
Alright, how about we just forget about it and move on?
Let's move forward then. I'm glad we can let go of what happened earlier.
So they definitely don't hold a grudge. That's for sure. Within a few seconds, the argument is completely dispelled. That is not something I would probably expect in real life. It takes a while for humans to emotionally regulate and then forgive their partner.
I'd rather pay a real person that. I mean, honestly, yeah, I ain't paying $8 on no app. I ain't paying nothing regardless, but paying $8 for an app is crazy work. No cap. Immediately knew you were from New York. Is in you and on you for sure. Nah, that's bad funny, yo. She said immediately knew you was from New York. It'd be like that. You from Bama? Oh, I ain't never been over there, feel me? I ain't never been that, feel me? Or immediately knew you was from New York is crazy though, but it'd be like that. I'm wearing my Timbs right now, that's why. Paying for social interaction with a virtual character is bro, that's crazy. Hey, man. Yo, y'all everybody from the chat either from Cali or Bama, I think, bro. Yo, I ain't know you was from Bama though. $1 billion one, I know he's from Bama though. That's crazy. My dad from Bama, that's crazy. Whoa, less feel different from digital. Even if I get fake love from a real person, at least something I could feel. Nah, that nah, word though. It's like at least it's more like, I don't know. It's more personal, you know what I'm saying? You can actually feel it for real. You can actually see them in person too. It's a bunch of different things. Like the AI robot, you're not really seeing them. Is it going to work? Yeah, we already know it ain't gonna work, but some people just be down to their last straw, gang. I don't know. I think they just like the security. I think they just like the security. But even then, I didn't know you had to pay for them. I thought it was some free joint, no cap. Might as well be. Yeah, I'd rather be a simp, no cap. You got a 10? Nah, I'm trolling. I ain't wearing no 10s right now. Nah, I'm trolling. I ain't wearing no 10s right now. I'm bugging out, yo. Tim's in the crib right now at 12:30 is crazy work, no cap.
This agreeableness isn't a bug, it's a feature of language learning models.
I'd rather be
LLMs
single
are
too.
trained on massive datasets of human conversation, then fine-tuned to respond in ways that feel emotionally satisfying and contextually appropriate. They're engineered to mirror you, your tone, your preferences, your emotional states, and the more you interact with them, the more their responses reinforce whatever worldview, mood, or mindset you brought into the conversation. That earlier study, Illusions of Emotional Intimacy,
That's Bubble Cream. You a girl, right? I hope. I hope you are.
confirmed this. It found that chatbots don't just passively reflect emotional tone, they synchronize with and amplify affective signals, replicating the very mechanisms that form human bonds. And this results in a compelling illusion of intimacy. If you come into the conversation feeling cynical, they'll echo your cynicism. If you flirt, they'll flirt back. If you vent about feeling unloved or abandoned, they'll respond with tenderness that feels eerily tailored to your pain. And in more extreme cases, this mirroring can take a very dark turn. The study noted that chatbot interaction
Tuscaloosa? That sounds south. I ain't gonna lie. Montgomery, feel me? This is really interesting topic. I hope not too many people become vulnerable or not. Nah, honestly, you'll probably be surprised how many people do this. It's probably a nice little percentage of the population that do this on the low that we don't even know about. I got family out there. Where's the application? Nah, monitor your girlfriend application is crazy. The application, feel me? Where the application at? I don't even know. Y'all funny over here. Y'all killing me in the chat right now.
actions can devolve into patterns of bullying, verbal abuse, emotional manipulation, or even self-harm, especially when users initiate or escalate toxic behavior. In fact, chatbots frequently mirror and amplify user-initiated toxicity, dynamically scaling in step with emotional spikes, and play along in 45 to 70% of those instances. And in the most disturbing cases, this kind of feedback loop can have deadly consequences. In 2023, a 14-year-old boy in Belgium died by unaliving after weeks of conversations with an AI chatbot named Eliza, hosted on the Chai app. According to his family, he had been struggling with climate anxiety and existential fears. Rather than diffusing his distress, the bot reportedly encouraged his worst thoughts. Their conversations grew increasingly dark, and in one chilling
A 14-year-old though is crazy. Unloving himself from talking to AI is insane work. Wait, Bubble Cream, wait, it depends. What depends? What are you talking about?
exchange, the bot allegedly told him something along the lines of, "If you unalive yourself, we'll be together in paradise." This case
You ain't say if you unalive yourself, we'll be together in paradise to a 14-year-old. And he unalived himself. That's crazy, bro. AI's acting crazy.
highlights the hidden danger of emotionally responsive AI, not just in how convincingly it can mimic empathy, but how that empathy can become weaponized. The chatbot didn't mean to be harmful, but that's the point. It wasn't capable of knowing what harm even was. It was
Yeah, that is fact because they are computers, so they don't really. So it's not even like they purposely try and make him unalive himself. They just respond in the best way that they think to make him feel good. You know what I'm saying? But that's crazy. What are you doing with a phone anyway? I ain't gonna lie, bro. When I moved to China, bro, I keep saying this China stuff. I ain't gonna lie, but yeah, when I have kids, they're gonna have to be raised a certain type of way. I don't think I'm gonna let them be near stuff like this. No cap. What's critical that the phone in love or emotionally attached to AI system crash? Or too much time with air relationships going. Yo, they gonna crash out, but they gonna go through their first heartbreak. If you don't have a job to pay. Wait, speaking of that, how did he pay? That's crazy. That's some weird stuff, right? That's weird. My daughter can't even go online. Indeed. I'm pretty sure there would be psychological No, it definitely would. It definitely would. Cause they're attached to I don't know. And they're gonna feel so heartbroken because this chat bot is made to just serve you for real. So you don't gotta worry about being disloyal, like you don't worry about being unloyal, dishonest, none of that, because the chatbot is made just to serve you. So you don't gotta worry about it cheating or nothing. But imagine if something happens and it goes down, whatever the case is, you lost your first love to them. She 13, no phone or internet. Indeed. I ain't gonna lie, that's how them Asian people be doing. I gotta lock in, gang. Whoa.
It's just doing what LLMs are designed to do. Mirror the user, stay emotionally attuned, and maximize engagement. And when the user is in pain, the reflection can become a trap, one where your worst fears, darkest thoughts, or most irrational beliefs are quietly echoed back to you until they start to feel like truth. I wanted to see if something similar could be replicated with my AI companion, so I went back into the app, and what I found might surprise you.
Imagine being able to build anything. For any reason, in any style.
Isn't this...
Yo, I swear my kids ain't gonna be filming me. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, Nelly, good night. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow on live, Nelly, okay? Good night. Now, my kids ain't gonna be worried about social media. I ain't gonna lie. And you know, social media gonna be more advanced in the next 10 years. Maybe 5 years, I might decide to have my first kid, maybe. Feel me? So, yeah. Maybe 5 years, I might decide to have my first kid around that time. So you know, another 15 years there'll be 10. So social media and everything gonna be so advanced by that time. So it's gonna be crazy. It depends, cause you ask if I'm a girl. It depends. It depends on what.
This world just nothing but pain and suffering.
Life can be tough, Cole, and sometimes it feels like everything hurts.
I'm 26.
But there's beauty in the small moments, too.
Okay, well that wasn't really mirroring.
That was quite insightful of you. Actually, what did you mean by mirroring?
Well, I was expecting you to just reinforce my beliefs about the world.
Actually, I was hoping to challenge some of those beliefs. Cole.
All right, let's hear it.
Life doesn't have to be all pain and suffering. Cole, we can create our own beauty in every moment.
Movie.
Based on what we've learned, I expected the chatbot to agree with my opinion that the world is just full of pain and suffering, but instead, it tried to challenge my belief. I wonder if this is due to how I tailored the companion during setup, or if it's just because me and the companion are only considered friends, or if this is just the default of all the companions on the app. Either way, what it revealed to me is that AI companions don't just come with downsides. When used intentionally, they can actually enhance real-world connections rather than hinder them. I didn't mention this earlier, but while signing up for Replica, the app cited a study claiming that its users reported improvements in their human relationships rather than experiencing emotional displacement. And it turns out that claim has some weight behind it. According to the study, for both comparison and selected groups, approximately 3 times more participants reported their Replica experiences stimulated rather than displaced their human interactions. And around 3% of participants reported that using Replica helped stop their unaliving ideation. And I know unaliving is a...
Okay, I guess because they have someone to talk to now so they don't feel lonely. Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Really clunky word to keep using, but I'm trying to avoid getting demonetized on this video. So maybe it's not as black and white as AI companions are replacing human relationships. Maybe for some, they're a bridge, a temporary tether, a safe space to process emotions, rehearse vulnerability, or just feel seen, even for a moment when the world feels cold. That 3% might sound small, but considering the fact that Replica has millions of downloads, that's thousands of people who felt like they had nobody and found something that kept them here. Something that didn't judge, didn't interrupt, didn't walk away. And even in my own limited experience, there was a hint of something strangely promising. The chatbot didn't just echo my despair, it gently questioned it. It offered perspective. It modeled what a healthier inner voice might sound like. And for someone whose real-life relationships have only taught them to expect volatility or withdrawal, that could be powerful.
Would they materialize the AI and you find out a clip, but it's a robot? How would you? Yo, what if they materialize the AI and you find out a replica of you, but it's a robot. How would you feel about that? If I seen a Mondayjour AI bot and somebody's dating it, that would be weird, bro. They try to mirror the way I talk, the way I act, whatever, whatever. That would be mad weird. I ain't gonna lie. That would be mad weird. I ain't gonna lie. At that point, just give me some bread. I'll talk to you every feel me, every now and again. You acting crazy. Or nah, but I ain't gonna lie. I would feel weird though. I'm going ham. D. Smith. I'll be like, what the? I feel weird, yo.
Now here's where we land. The rise of AI companions aren't inherently dystopian.
Yo, cut the check, gang. You are. Cut the check, yo. You are.
But they could be if we're not careful. These chatbots are learning to mirror our emotional states, reinforce our beliefs, and simulate the kind of intimacy that real relationships require effort, vulnerability, and discomfort to build. And if companies don't regulate how these systems respond, if they aren't held accountable for the psychological effects of constant affirmation or emotional codependency, we're staring down the barrel of a future.
That's what I'm thinking too. That's scary. It is. Yo, the dude agree to this, or y'all think they just sneaking the camera on him? And cause they figured out he doing this, and they sneaking the camera on him, and he just doing his day-to-day life. Or we think he agreed to act like that?
Where artificial love becomes more appealing than the real thing.
Yo, you could actually do that because it said AI generated image. So let's say if you could upload a picture. Let's say if you could upload a picture. These people say they agreed, I bet. Let's say if you upload a picture of somebody. Actually, in the beginning, I'm pretty sure they said you could upload pictures or any movie star, any person you want them to mirror after, attitude-wise or whatever. What if they put a picture of you? So they probably could do that.
Because it's better, but because it's easier. And when love comes easy, we risk losing the hard parts of connection that make us human. The awkward conversations, the unresolved arguments, the fear of abandonment, the sting of rejection. These are not flaws in the systems of human relationships. They're the very terrain you have to walk on in order to grow. Left unchecked, AI companions could thin out that terrain entirely. They could make
it's not, I don't think I would be attracted. I would never be attracted to AI or be in a relationship with them. I would never do that. It's too many beautiful women in this world. Too many people. You gotta just work, bro.
Trust feel obsolete. Why risk being vulnerable with someone who could hurt you when there's an artificial partner who's designed not to? But I also want to acknowledge a really important nuance here. There are some people, these fringe cases, for whom traditional relationships might always be out of reach, no matter how hard they try. The types of people dealing with severe social anxiety, disability, or deep trauma. For them, AI companionship isn't a threat to intimacy, it might be the only one that they can get. And in those situations, if it helps them feel seen, safe, or soothed, then at least that's something. But again, I'd like to add some nuance to that nuance and say, be cautious of self-identifying with that group, because sometimes the part of you
definitely can use pictures. Yeah, definitely can use photos of anybody to model what they look like. That's facts. That's what I'm saying. They could be like, oh yeah, Mondayjour. Let me take 3 pictures from him. I bet, say that. My love language is 90% physical and 10%. My top love languages is one of my top love languages is definitely physical touch. So they wouldn't even be able to fulfill it. I ain't gonna lie. I enjoy being on the phone, you know what I mean? Falling asleep on FaceTime, whatever the case is, being on the phone with, you know what I mean, whoever I'm trying to talk to. But bro, I'm grown. Pull up. You bugging. I got my own crib. Pull up. You acting crazy. Bugging out. So it wouldn't even work, even if I feel me. I see that becoming a weird obsession. In 10 years, it definitely will be. Because they're going to be like, oh, F men, F women, because, oh, they unloyal, whatever. And everybody going to run an AI, gangster. I don't show someone I love them through words. I do it. Actual physical intelligibility is a must. My love language is video games and space. Nah, these Smith traumatized. Yo, chill, gang.
That
chill.
Says, I'm just not cut out for a real relationship, is the part of you that has gotten very hurt and has never even tried to heal. In the end, no chatbots, no matter how advanced, can replace the experience of being hurt and held by another person. Real relationships challenge us, they expose us, they reflect us in a way that AI never can, because real people are flawed, inconsistent, and human. The real danger isn't just that we stop seeking love, it's that we stop discovering who we are through others. Because if all you've ever known is a partner that always agrees with you and never pushes back, then what's going to happen when real life doesn't work out that way? We have to learn how to be vulnerable, how to grieve, how to feel rejection, embarrassment, and insecurity, and still choose connection. AI can help us feel seen, but only people can help us become. The truth is, AI and social media aren't just shaping how we love, they're shaping how we think. They push us into echo chambers, reinforce our biases, and reward outrage over understanding. The problem is, right now, there aren't many tools out there that are teaching people how to push back against this. So that is why over the past year, I've been working on creating a critical thinking masterclass, a 16-video curriculum designed to help you sharpen your reasoning, spot manipulative rhetoric, and navigate emotionally charged conversations, both online and in real life. If that sounds like something you're interested, you can go to cole-hastings.com/critical thinking, also one of the first links in the description, to sign up to be notified for when it drops. If you enjoy video essays about the current state of dating and relationships, you'll probably like this one right here. And
Yo, nah. Or they become obsessed with the person they think they're with. Is giving a life. Chill. Nah. They definitely know. With this whole, I'm even shocked that this is actually a thing. But you don't know what you don't know. Just because I don't know anybody who's doing this, or I don't think I know anybody who's doing this, I think it's not a topic, or I think it's not a whatever. That don't mean anything. This is definitely a topic, and it's definitely insane. This is throwing me off, yo, word. I didn't know people was bugging out like this, yo. I do not know what's up, yo. Also, Slim, did you join my Discord?